Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to explore what I think could be the smartest, most authentic way to keep The Last of Us alive as a franchise, without milking it, dragging characters back into trauma, or repeating arcs. And it all centers around Dina and Jesse's son, who Ellie ends up raising, and even Tommy and Maria's child from the show. If The Last of Us ever expands, these two might be the perfect next generation to inherit that world and continue the legacy the right way. Let's get into it. The Last of Us works because its characters don't exist to feed a franchise. They are emotional journeys that feel whole. Joel and Ellie mattered because they transformed, and because their arcs have real endings. So if HBO ever wants to continue the story, it needs to do it without forcing those characters back into the spotlight. Well, Ellie, not Joel, because spoiler alert, Joel is very much dead. Not every masterpiece has to keep its original heroes forever. Sometimes the most respectful thing you can do is let them become history. Dina and Jesse's son already feels like the emotional bridge to whatever comes next. He was born in a broken world, raised by someone who's walked through every form of loss, guilt, violence, love, redemption, and consequence. Ellie becomes his compass, not because she's perfect, but because she's honest, because she's lived all sides of humanity, whether she wanted or not. If the show ever does a time jump, the kid is the most natural anchor. He asks the biggest question: what future comes out of all of the pain that led here? And then you add in the show's detail that Tommy and Maria have a kid. Suddenly, you have two characters who represent two paths of the same legacy. One raised by Ellie, shaped by her scars and lessons. One raised by Tommy and Maria, shaped by community, structure, and hope. They could be friends, allies, opposites, maybe even rivals, who both inherited different truths about the world. Their decisions, beliefs, and instincts would mirror the conflicts we've already seen, just through a generation that never knew the world before the outbreak. That dynamic alone is storytelling gold. Imagine a time skip. Jackson is older, civilizations have shifted, new threats exist, maybe political, maybe human, maybe infected. Everything Joel and Ellie fought through is now part of the history that shaped these kids. They move through a world built on the bones of the old ones. They carry the names Ellie, Joel, Dina, Jesse, Tommy, Maria, etc., etc. They hear stories, rumors, warnings. They learn what happened and what was sacrificed. They inherit consequences they never chose. That's how you evolve a universe without ripping open the same wounds. This isn't forced. It's not, hey, remember Ellie? Here she is again for no reason. It's legacy. Characters who mattered leave shadows, not sequels. Ellie doesn't need to be dragged back into constant trauma. She can become what Joel was to her: a memory, a myth, a presence that shapes a new protagonist, even without being on screen. Their world is a reflection of what she did, right or wrong. That's powerful. This whole idea is honestly what The Walking Dead should have committed to with Carl. He was perfectly positioned to become the future viewpoint. A kid shaped by apocalypse logic, growing into the leader of whatever came next. But they never fully followed through. And later, the attempt to redirect that energy onto Judith just didn't carry the same impact. She was good, but that heir to the world's consequences arc never landed the way Carl's would have. It's like the symbol of the future became a narrative accessory instead of the spine of the story. The Last of Us doesn't need to repeat that mistake. Ellie's adopted son and Tommy and Maria's child aren't stand-ins or backdrops. They're the living results of everything that came before. Handled right, they could be what Carl should have been in The Walking Dead. A new lens for a changed world. shaped by the wreckage left behind. That's the difference between forcing a franchise to continue and allowing it to grow. If the franchise ever moves forward, this is the honest truth. Let time pass, let the world change, let the next generation struggle with the history they inherited. Let Joel and Ellie become legends, not puppets. Those two kids would embody the consequences, the hopes, the regrets, and the scars that the original cast left behind. And that keeps The Last of Us alive without feeling like a cash grab. It's a continuation that honors the emotional weight of what came before. So yeah, if HBO ever looks for a thoughtful, organic way to extend this universe, I think the answer has been sitting in the story the entire time. Dina and Jesse's son, Tommy and Maria's son, two descendants of characters who reshaped the world, now forced to figure out what to do with what they've inherited. That's not nostalgia, that's legacy. It keeps The Last of Us alive the right way. But what do you think? Would you watch a time jump series focused on Ellie's adopted son, maybe alongside Tommy and Maria's? Is that the true next generation for this universe? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.